What is up, everyone? Welcome to Reality Room Spoilers with Paul, bringing you the latest on Big Brother 21 Live Feeds. Okay, guys, so Live Feeds went live officially about 24 hours ago. Since then, we actually got a lot of information that came out. I know a lot of you are already privy to a lot of this recent stuff that came out, for instance, the noms. So I'm going to focus more on what happened just in the past couple of hours. I do want to mention, though, one thing that was kind of interesting I noticed when the live feeds originally went live, that the people knew like right away. Like normally when you're watching like a season, it takes them like 15, 20 minutes before they even realize that they're live. But this time they knew like pretty much immediately that they were live, which I thought was pretty was pretty cool. I mean, it is kind of fun to see them kind of mess around sometimes when they think that they're not live in the last 20 minutes. But it is what it is. So I'm just going to briefly mention the noms and what the plan was and what the plan now is that kind of changed over the last couple of days. So the nominations were Cliff and Kat. And originally, and this is something I just found out later today. Originally, Catherine was the target, and apparently she made some comments about, and she was kind of actually talking about recently why she thought she was the target. She was like mentioning how she had a conversation with the girls, and she was trying to like protect Jackson, not to seem like he's playing too hard. So he's like, so she's like, yeah, me and him are close, so I can keep him in check or something. And apparently that got back to Jackson, and then everything kind of got blown up. So she was kind of looking like the target for at least a little while. But then sometime in the past couple of days, the target changed, and now the target is now going to be Kemi. Apparently, she made some comments. I'm not privy to exactly what they were. There's a lot of speculation out there, but as of right now, she is the backdoor target, and she's not really. I mean, you watch the live feeds, and you don't really see her meshing with anyone at all, and it's a little disappointing. I was really hoping that she would like bring a lot of light, to what could be, because she has such an entertaining personality. So I really hope that she does stay, but it's not really looking too well for her right now, and I'll tell you why, because I do have the results for the veto as well. So I will. I guess I'll just get to the veto now. Okay, so they had the veto comp. People who played in the veto, obviously Christy, Catherine, and Cliff. Oh, by the way, no, I'll mention this after. And then who else? Jack, Nicole, and Sam were picked to play in the veto. And Casey from Big Brother 20, the winner of Big Brother 20, actually came back to host the competition, which is a little fun thing. And apparently they had to like catch stuff while like running. It was like a school cafeteria setting, so I guess like a camp cafeteria or something along those lines, since that's the theme of the season. It's it's a camp theme, so it's a camp cafeteria. BB some nonsense like that. Apparently, they had like food falling from like the sky, and they had to like catch certain items. And each item, it was separated by rounds, and each item they caught corresponded to a certain number of points. And the winner of that veto competition happened to be dun, 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 Sam. So Sam won the veto competition, and Sam is kind of on the inside with everyone right now about backdooring Kemi. In fact, that there seems to be there's a lot of connections right now in the house. Like we saw in the episode 2, we saw that the original 6-person alliance was formed, but there was also a lot of side alliances that was formed. They also added some people to that alliance. It's not really a part of that alliance, that being Sam and Annalise. And then everyone else has like their own like single connection or group of connections, like Christy has Tommy, for instance. And it's honestly like a whole cluster. A few of the house guests that are not really involved in those alliances are, and I mean, I guess this is really like the important part, because a majority core are, but the ones that really aren't are Nicole, Ovi, Jessica, Kemi, Then we have uh, Cliff, who's not really part of it, and Kat is kind of has a somewhat of a connection with Jackson, like a little bit, and I'll get to that later. And other than that, that's really all we have right now, that don't really have tight bonds with what's looking like the majority alliance, which is everyone else who's not them. Everyone else who's not them. I'll get to specifics later. So yes, so speaking of like side alliances and stuff like that, I did see randomly like Jack form a 5-person alliance with Sam, Nick, and they wanted to bring in I believe Annalise and Holly. So it's like no, Annalise and Christy, I believe. Yeah, Annalise and Christy. So there's a lot of like random alliances happening. Like Jack literally just formed that like an hour ago, and then literally I see him having a conversation with Tommy about like another alliance that they have. Apparently, he has a 3 with Jack has a 3 with Christy and Tommy, which is whatever. I like what Jack has like 30 alliances. Like basically that's the thing. Jack it's gonna blow up in his face. He has too many alliances, too many connections. It's gonna blow up. Like in a few weeks, people are gonna realize, hey, wait a minute, I have a Final Five with Jack. Wait, I have a Final Five with Jack. No, I got a Final Six with Jack. It's like everything's gonna blow up. I predict. I mean, if he's not honest about it with his main core alliance, which I don't think he is, considering that he's inviting people from his main core 6 alliance, which I believe is his main alliance, by the way. I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure. Like, even when he was talking to to the 5 that I was talking about that he made before with Sam, Nick, Christy, and Annalise, he's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure Jackson's gonna get cut at some point before like final like 8 or 9. I'm like, whoa, okay, buddy, talking like real down the line. This is like real dangerous conversations to be having. Like this is something that he can say now that's gonna bite him in the ass like 3 weeks from now when someone just goes to Jackson and repeats that. So he's playing a pretty dangerous game right now. And apparently Tommy wanted to form another 5-person alliance with Jack. That includes Holly and Annalise, or I don't know. It's like it's pretty insane, man. Pretty insane. I don't know what to make of it. Now it might be a 6-person alliance. Anyway, Jackson 30 alliances. That's all you have to know. Jackson 30 alliances, and it's probably gonna bite him in a few weeks. But for now, let's just enjoy. Let's just enjoy while before the dynamite blows up. So Sam, so Ovi's been making some waves in the house, and not good waves. I like Ovi, still do. Apparently, he's like touching people when they don't want to be touched or something, even though everyone's already touchy-feely with each other. Some of the girls are uncomfortable, and some people want him out for that reason, and some people are targeting him to leave next week. So like a lot of the people or might be putting him up if they win HOH. Now he's not like Jackson's target or anything like that, or even the main core alliance's target. Though I haven't seen a legitimate conversation with just the 6, or if that's even like the main alliance still. Like it's pretty hard to say, but I'm pretty sure it is. But I did see Jackson talk to Christy, and he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna see Ovi. We're gonna see Ovi we're gonna use Ovi as a diversion, basically, because people are viewing Ovi as being like as wanting him gone. Basically, they're like, oh, he's like a negative force in the house. That's their perspective, not mine. I love Ovi; he's a great guy. They're seeing as a negative force in the house that's distracting the other house guests from seeing the main threats as real threats. And Jackson and Christy are like, well, the main threats are us, so we kind of want Ovi to stay for at least a couple of weeks. And Jackson's plan is actually to get out Jessica. So that's basically his plan for next week. So this week he wants Kemi out. They're going to backdoor Kemi. Sam actually talked about taking Cliff off of the block, which was a nice little thing. Fizzy Jakarto in the chat says, "I already see cracks in the 10-person alliance. LOL. I'm not too worried." Yeah, I mean, there are definitely cracks, and 10. However many people are in at this point, 8, 9, 10. It seems like there's definitely at least 8, with a few people kind of like with their hands in the cookie jar at this point, that are in but are not really in. But we'll definitely see what happens there. But yeah, Jackson and Chrissy's plan is to get Jessica out next week, and then following that week, that's when they'll go after Ovi. Also, a few little tidbits about the Wactivity comp. There's a lot of speculation about who won, because no one actually knows for sure. But Nick and Sam were talking, and they were and Jack, I believe, were speculating that they think that Cliff won the Wactivity comp, and that's kind of why they didn't hear anything, because he wouldn't have told anyone. Which makes sense to me. I think we'll find out. And apparently, another interesting tidbit: only a few people play in the Wactivity comp, and apparently we already know who these people are as the weeks go along. So I have a list of the people who are playing in the week 2 and week 3 Wactivity comp. And still, we don't know what this power specifically is exactly yet. We'll find out on Sunday, I'm sure. But in week 2, Jackson, Jack, Holly, Sam, and Tommy play. At the very least, those 5, maybe a few others, but those were the 5 that was said. And then week 3, Christy, Nick, and Annalise play. So if the comp is anything useful, then we'll find out if it's useful. I'm sure the power is interesting. Maybe Cliff would be able to take himself off the block or something if he won the Wactivity comp anyway, which I'm not exactly sure. So let's see. Jackson talking to Catherine and Isabella. Sam won Veto, probably using it on Cliff. Yeah, it's pretty like it's pretty common knowledge that Jackson's using the Veto on Cliff. And the reason why is I think Sam just generally likes Cliff, like as a person. The excuse is that he's been through a lot. He's also in on the backdoor plan to get Kemi out. So that's the thing. And by the way, I think almost everyone in the house is in on that plan right now, except Kemi. So it's a little awkward for her. I don't think she knows yet. But we'll maybe she'll blow up when she gets backdoored. I don't know. Might be good TV. Might just be like, hey, I just want to get out of here because it's kind of like an awkward time. I don't know. We'll find out soon enough. Let's see. We did have a cute little situation where Cliff was like spelling out "Happy Birthday" to, I believe, his son, like with rice, and that was a cute little thing. That's also one of the reasons why, Sam wanted to use the Veto on him, because he's like, he saw that and was like, oh, that's really, it's like a really cute thing. He's going through a hard time, missing his family, and he definitely wants to be here because it's Big Brother. It's like his dream. So he wants to use the Veto on him, take him off, have him stay at least a few more weeks. So yeah, pretty nice. Let's see here. Oh, Tommy already fucked up on basically saying, on his plan to pretending not to be a super fan, because he basically told the entire house when double eviction happens every single season. So he's literally like in the kitchen and he's like talking as loud as he can. There's like 6, 7 house guests around him. He's like, yeah, with double eviction usually happens week 6, week 7. Says the same thing to Jack like 5 minutes later in a private conversation. Like, he's not even pretending that he's not a super fan anymore. Like, his initial plan was pretend not to be a super fan, so you're not seen as a threat. Now he's basically, I guess that plan's out the window. I mean, I don't know. Like, usually you should stick with your plans, buddy. But, is what it is. Also, he seems to have really good vibes with people, and I don't know. I guess it is like a 9-person alliance. I guess it is like a 9-person alliance because Tommy is kind of involved too. So, yeah, I don't know at this point. And Catherine's like not really in; she's out. Yeah. All right. So anyway, I saw a conversation today between Ovi, Nicole, and Jessica. Who, reminder, these people are on the outs in the house, and they kind of know that they're on the outs. Like, Ovi was kind of saying, like, "Hey, yeah, Ovi and Jessica were kind of talking, and they were like, yeah, they're likely alliances, like probably pretty solid alliances that have already been formed, because there are people already talking about moving in with one another. If there are people talking about moving in with one another, they're probably pretty close knit and probably have an alliance together, which is true. And the alliance is a little bigger than what she thinks it is, but they think right now that it's possible that they could pull in maybe Kat, who is on the outs because they did want her out. Possibly pull in Cliff, Kemi too, but they know she's going to leave. But so yeah, I guess they would have like a solid 5 if that's the case. I'm not sure if that's enough. It's not looking too good for them. Actually, that would be 5 out of 14 because yeah, 5 out of 14 because Kemi would leave. And that's if they get Kat, because Jackson basically has Kat like in his right pocket right now. Like I don't think he even knows that he does, and I don't think that's his plan. I think he genuinely just likes like Kat as like a friend, or whatever. But like he literally has her in his pocket, and it's a little, I mean, great for his game, mind you, great for his game, fantastic. But is what it is. Also, apparently there was a little scandal in the house. Well, not really a scandal, but apparently Jackson and Kat may have had sex in the house a few days ago, or at least according to Jackson. So that's a thing that happened. And then today he's like, yeah, I'm not interested in like her in relationship wise, just want to be friends or whatever. Like, okay, whatever, Jackson, you don't usually sleep with your friends. Whatever. What do I know? I guess I'll leave it there. Jack, during that Jackson and Christie talk, he did mention that he is a little scared of Sam, so that's why I don't think that like 8 or 9 is really that tight. It just as Fizzy said in the chat before. I mean, Fizzy's right. That alliance is not as tight as we think it is, but maybe the 6 is, or I don't know anymore, because Jack's forming his own 5-person alliances with people outside the alliance and people inside the alliance. It's a little confusing, and Nick's kind of everywhere too, and I don't know. Basically, there's millions of alliances right now, and at some point the line will be drawn, and that'll either be if the actual other side, which is just really just Ovi, Nicole, and Jessica at this point, possibly Cliff, possibly who else was it? Possibly Kat, possibly Kemi, but she's probably leaving, so it doesn't even matter. So if that side wins the next HOH, maybe we'll actually see where lines are really drawn, because the way vetoes are used, the way people try to defend one another. We'll see what happens. Okay, so this has been Reality Room Spoilers with Paul. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe down below. I will be doing updates on Big Brother Live Feeds fairly often during the course of the next few months. So look forward to those guys. Until next time, peace.